And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is the best free-to-pay character farming guide ever. This character guide is specifically for support characters. This is going to help you figure out which character in the support category you should be focusing on if you are completely free to play, or if you have been playing for a while and maybe you feel like you're stretched really thin and you're focusing on way too many characters and you really want to get refocused. This list will help you with supports. So the first support I recommend is Admiral Ackbar. He is a rebel and he's also a fleet commander. Now, a lot would say the endurance is the best. I would say those characters are some of the guys on the oldest shards, and they are on some of the biggest whale shards out there. I would say endurance is phenomenal, but I would say for the entry, mid-level, or even in-game, Admiral Ackbar ship is truly one of the top two best fleet ships. I know there's only three, but on some shards, he's the only character or the only fleet commander being utilized, and on others, it's 50-50, but he is phenomenal. He'll make you a great fleet commander if you use him. But more than him having an excellent capital ship, he's light side. He makes an excellent leader. Of course, he's great for the rebel teams. He has a phenomenal ship for you. He dispels your team, and through that dispel, he's going to heal your team. He hits really hard on his basic, and you can find him in the squad arena shipments, so you can get him relatively quickly, which is great. That is one of the most important things, is to be able to get these characters free and to get them quickly. But he also has Tactical Genius, which can give your team additional turns. This is really phenomenal. So I recommend Admiral Ackbar. He's usable, of course, in both the raids, in Cantina battles, light side missions. You can use him in the arena, in the Galactic War, on any kind of a rebel team. You can use him in the health or the tenacity mod challenges. And you can also use him on a rebel team to unlock Emperor Palpatine. Aayla Secura. This may surprise a lot of people. She's support, but she is in fact a support character. She is a Jedi, so that goes for her very well. She's farmable very easily from 5B in Cantina, and that's how I recommend, of course, to get her. But you've got to be up a little bit in the game before you get her. So when you're looking at these support characters, I suggest find some that are lower on the Cantina list to do first, and then when you get to your 5 node, your node 5B, you can start to farm her. She hits very hard if she crits the opponent, which hopefully you're going to mod her to crit, which I have like 2 critical chance on her. She will stun your opponent. She's a great, anytime you can get a stun in the game, it throws the opponent off for sure of their game. She's an excellent attacker, and she makes also an excellent leader. She's one of the best, if not the best, leader for Phase 1 of the AAT tank raid for the Jedi because of the tenacity boost that she gives her team. 40% tenacity, and they gain health every time they ward off an effect, which happens all the time, which makes them very durable and allows for them to attack a lot. Now, the other player that a lot of people would like is I'm a Gundai for a counter team, but I have found even without the boost for countering, this Jedi counter team still does phenomenal and actually lasts longer under Aayla's lead. Aayla Secura is also just an excellent leader in general. If you're going to do a team against someone like, you know, the Emperor Palpatine teams, things like that. And then, of course, she's usable in a lot of places. In both of the raids, she's critical in the AAT, the Cantina battles, light side missions, the arena, the Galactic War. Jedi teams, you can use her to unlock Yoda and the mod challenges, from health mod challenges to defense mod challenges. And some of the best teams right now in the current meta and in the past meta were using Aayla Secura. I have a couple of my Team Instinct fellows who love Aayla Secura, and she is critical in these timeout teams that they're using to make sure that the opponent cannot beat them in the 5 minutes allotted in arena. So that is Aayla Secura. Biggs Darklighter, again, another surprise. A lot of people think he's an attacker, but he's actually, in fact, support. He is a rebel, and you can find him relatively easily in the Galactic War shipments or traditional nodes, or the Cantina node, traditional node of 4A, Cantina node of 3G, which you can get to pretty easily, but I recommend him in the Galactic War shipments or the Cantina node 3G, pretty quick in 3G. If not, Galactic War shipments are lightning fast. Biggs Darklighter is a rebel, so he has that going for him, obviously. He is light side, of course. He has a ship, which is phenomenal. He has one of the, if not the best, assist call in the game. The reason why I like it the best in all assists, even if he doesn't have wedge, is because it pretty much guarantees a crit from him and the person who he calls to assist, because he gives them that 75% critical chance boost. It says all attacks have 75% more critical chance, which pretty much guarantees that you're going to get a crit, which is very, very nice. That is, in my opinion, the best assist. And again, anytime you can get an assist called in the game, it is a really, really, really good thing. Obviously, he has one of the best tank ships in the game, especially paired with a rebel team such as an Admiral Ackbar fleet commander, using him with someone like Darth Maul's ship that will stealth everybody else, and he's just going to continue to get protection up and get additional damage and continue to retaliate. Those kinds of combos are absolutely phenomenal, but Biggs is a great ship. He's a great character. He's obviously usable in both of the raids, in Cantina battles, light side missions. He's very usable in Arena, has been meta for a while, but will continue to stick around in teams for a very long time. He's very usable in the Galactic War. Obviously, you can use him in Rebel teams, and you can use him to unlock Emperor Palpatine. You can also use him in the Tenacity mod challenges or Health mod challenges, and he's very usable in the ships. Again, another surprise. A lot of people think of Qui-Gon Jinn as an attacker. He is actually, in fact, classified as support. He is a Jedi, and where you want to get him is the Cantina battle shipments. This is probably your first priority in Cantina battle shipments, in my opinion. He is phenomenal. He is a light side character. He's going to help you with that. He does have an excellent attack, but he's also an excellent leader. He also has a very powerful assist, because the assisting ally will deal 75% more damage, and when you Omega this, they'll also get health recovery, which is very cool. Again, anytime you can call an assist, you will see on my attackers list, I had Geonosian Soldier. Here I've got Biggs, I've got Qui-Gon Jinn. You're going to see that anytime you can get those extra attacks, such as Admiral Ackbar, you want those extra attacks, especially if you're free to play. Those are still, have been, and always will be great synergistic teams. He also is one of the few characters out there. Out of 101 characters, there's only about 18 Zeta abilities, and so he's one of the few that can be Zeta'd. He's obviously usable in both of the raids. I highly recommend him for Phase 1 of the Rancor raid. Phase 1 of the AAT tank raid, and he's also very critical in turn meter reduction with his basic when he does the Rancor raid, because he has a 65% chance to remove a third, basically 30% of the target's turn meter. So that is very cool. Qui-Gon Jinn, with his turn meter reduction, again, is just really popular. He's usable in both the raids, of course, Cantina, light side missions, Arena. People are seeing a boost in him in Arena right now. He's usable in the Galactic War. Of course, you can use him in Jedi teams. You can use him in mod challenges, both for the defense mod challenges and the health mod challenge, as well as using him to help unlock Yoda. CT7567, aka Rex. Now, surprisingly, he is now free to play. That's pretty exciting. He drops in a couple of places. Currently, it's not showing his drop, but he does fall often in the guild store and often in the fleet battle shipments. So you can get him both in your fleet battle shipments and in the guild store. You just have to watch each day. It changes at 6 a.m., midnight, 6 p.m., noon. So you want to check those shipments 4 times a day or 3 times a day to see when they drop. But he is now free to play. You can get him in your fleet battle shipments and the guild store. He'd probably be one of the 2 top priorities out of the fleet battle shipments if you're farming characters out of there. Of course, he's light side. He is, if not the best, one of the best dispellers in the game. Where he can dispel your entire team, because he also gives them tenacity up guaranteed. I know a lot of people that are like, man, I want Chirrut. Chirrut's awesome. He gives everyone tenacity up. Kind of. Chirrut gives everyone tenacity up if they don't have debuffs. If they have debuffs, he only takes away their debuff. And they have to have no debuffs to get their tenacity. And he's a pay-to-play character right now. Rex is free to play, and he guarantees he clears off the whole team, and he guarantees them the tenacity up. So you on Squad Disciple. So, and it's for 3 turns, which is phenomenal. And so the tenacity up is, I know a lot of people that don't understand or appreciate the tenacity up, but it's almost pretty much a guarantee when this plays that you're not going to be stunned. You're not going to get the debuffs. And by the way, the debuff teams are on the rise. They're happening. They've been happening, but they will continue to get more and more powerful. And so he is going to become even more critical for the free-to-play player if you want to be competitive in the arena. Of course, like I said, he is also a great leader because he'll give his team turn meter whenever anyone's critically hit. That's excellent. He has an excellent ship. It's one of the best ships in the game. I absolutely love his ship. He also has turn meter reduction. So when you're in the Rancor raid, you can use his basic to reduce the turn meter on the Rancor, because it says deals physical damage to target enemy and removes 25% turn meter. That is phenomenal. It is more consistent as well than Qui-Gon Jinn's basic turn meter reduction. So that is great. He's usable, of course, in both of the raids. He's usable in the Cantina battles, the light side missions, very much so in the arena. In the Galactic War, also you can use him in mod challenges if you want to get your health mods. And he's, of course, very usable in ships because he has one phenomenal ship. Captain Phasma. Now, this may surprise a lot of people that I've picked a First Order character and somebody who used to be meta a long time ago. One of the things is that there is not a lot of dark side characters that are able to be leaders, especially for free-to-play. And until you get your Emperor Palpatine unlocked, you're going to need a really good leader for the dark side missions, as well as early to mid-game in the arena. But Captain Phasma is still a phenomenal dark side leader, as well as just a leader in general. One of the few free-to-play leaders, like I said, for the dark side. But Captain Phasma is phenomenal because she has the multi-attack ability, and when you Zeta this ability, it becomes even more awesome, where there's always that 20% chance to call a random ally to assist. And if you Zeta this ability, you're going to triple that assist chance for First Order, so it's going to end up being 60% chance to call an ally to assist. And you'll take away that 15% less damage penalty, which is pretty awesome, which means they'll do regular damage. Also, if they had advantage, they'll get advantage for 2 turns again. But anytime you can call extra attacks, just like Admiral Ackbar or Biggs or Qui-Gon Jinn or Geonosian Soldier, anytime you can get those extra attacks, this plays into that very, very well. Plus, speed down really helps you in the raids, as well as against teams that are sped up. You obviously speeding them down is critical as well. She will be usable in, of course, both of the raids. A lot of people use her still in the Rancor raid, in Cantina battles, dark side missions, the arena, Galactic War, and the health mod challenges, as well as the First Order mod challenge when and if you decide to get the rest of the First Order. And the last support character that makes the top 26 list is HK-47. Now, he is a droid. You can find him in the squad arena shipments and other places, but I would suggest the squad arena shipments. For the support list that I've made, there are 7 support I've picked out of the 28 support. There are 5 light side and 2 dark side. These are all farmed in different places with the exception of Captain Phasma and HK-47. They both compete with one other character in their area. For example, HK-47 competes with one other person in the squad arena shipments, which would be Admiral Ackbar. So you'll have to decide, do I want to go Rebels or do I want to go droids first? You can get them both, but make sure you have a plan and strategy, and then a plan accordingly with the attackers that you're going to farm, the tanks you're going to farm, and or healers that you're going to farm for your first and second teams. So prioritize. But HK-47, of course, is a droid. He is dark side. He is an excellent leader. He's the only leader, in my opinion, for a droid team. He's phenomenal in Phase 2 of the AAT tank raid. Now, I do not do well at all in Phase 2 of the AAT tank raid, and you can see why. I unfortunately learned the lesson the hard way. I chose when I started to not focus on droids, and it has not paid off for me. I would highly recommend droids be one of the first 3 or 4 teams that you focus on, with them probably being one of the first 2 teams. One, they can shred through teams and get you really high in the arena. 2, they're extremely usable in the raids. And 3, they're just a lot of fun to play with. But he is an excellent leader for them, and of course the raids. He's usable, of course, in both raids, in the Cantina battles, dark side missions. You can use him, of course, in the arena, especially on a droid team. He can get you through the Galactic War with his droid team, and you can do the health mod challenges with him as well. So what do you think about the support characters, the 7 that I've picked out of the top 28? What do you think? Leave your comments down below. As always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.